Hello, my name is Anita Newby and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am going to be reviewing a movie for you today, but you probably already knew that. The movie I'm going to be looking at today is Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, this was released in theaters as well as on HBOMax, so if you haven't had the opportunity to watch it yet, never fear. I'm not going to give away any spoilers. I'm not going to tell you what happened, but I will tell you how I feel about what happened. So stay tuned, stick around for my review of Godzilla vs. Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong. I have to tell you, I was very excited to see this movie. I was waiting for it. And to be honest, I don't know why. It's not like I'm a huge Godzilla fan or a huge Kong fan, but it just sounded like it was going to be an epic movie with an epic battle. I'm all about action and adventure, and I didn't want to miss out on something that was going to go down in history, as this great battle, this Clash of the Titans, which is exactly what we got in this movie. I will admit, coming into it, I had some concerns. One of the things that I wondered is if I needed more background information before going into this movie. I know that there were some Kong movies, some which I had seen. I think maybe I had seen one of them prior, but I feel like there was more than one. I can't be too sure because I just don't even know. And what I think I saw, I have no recollection of. I can't even remember. So I was very concerned going into the movie if this was going to be a problem. If it was going to be an issue that I needed some sort of backstory, that I didn't have the history on, if I was going to be able to follow along and see what was happening. And as far as Godzilla is concerned, all I remember about Godzilla is that back in the day when I was in grade school, Monster Week used to happen like once every summer. And, my brothers were super excited about Monster Week to see, Godzilla versus Johnny Sacco or Ultraman or something like that. So basically, that's all I know. I don't know any story. I don't know who Godzilla's mama is. I don't know where he came from. I don't know if he has a purpose and a plan. I don't know any of that. So I was just concerned going into that movie that I wouldn't be able to follow along, but that didn't deter me. I decided I was going to watch it. I was excited about it. I wanted to be a part of, what was happening in terms of this film. And so I just dove in. And let me tell you, I was not disappointed in any way. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I really, really thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It is exactly what you expect it to be in the best way possible. Sometimes a movie is what you expect it to be, and therefore it's kind of disappointing because you wanted something extra or you wanted to be surprised or, but this movie delivered for me exactly what I thought it was going to deliver, and I was totally pleased with that. I will say this, I had questions. One of my main questions going in, besides the fact of would I be lost because I don't know these people's backstory, well, monsters, I guess I should say. I don't know their backstory. One of my main concerns was, why are they fighting? Did they have beef long ago that I didn't know about? Is this like some long-term rival, like the Crips and the Bloods? Like whenever they see each other, they just fight? I have no idea. And it was kind of bothersome and distressing because I kept asking people, why are they fighting? I know they're fighting and people are asking me to pick a side. Who you got, going into it? Pick a side. I was like, but why are they fighting? Can't we all just get along? But anyway, with all that being said, my question was answered very, very early on in the movie, and I appreciated that. I didn't have to wait. I didn't have to try to figure it out. But very, very early on in the movie, they answered the question of why these two titans would be coming together in this battle. So that was answered for me. I didn't feel like, I was in the dark. I didn't understand. It was a very straightforward movie. The plot was clear. There was nothing tricky about it. Nothing that I feel like I had to have a backstory or foreknowledge of coming into the movie, but it was a great standalone movie, and that was one of my concerns. But my concern was unnecessary because it delivered as a standalone movie. So let's talk about some of the details of it. Now, I will say this. If you have the opportunity to watch this movie on the big screen in a safe environment, I definitely encourage you to do that. I didn't watch it in a movie theater, and there were certain points where I was like, man, I wish I was in the theater watching this because this would be great. As far as just action and visual effects and animation, it is stellar. It is superb. And you know, if it looks good on a TV screen, it's really going to look good, you know, in a movie theater. So I was very happy about that. I thought that it was very well done. The effects were nice. The visuals were nice. It was very engaging visually. And let's talk about characters a little bit. I loved the characters in this movie. Not just Godzilla and Kong, but, you know, there were people that were actually surrounding and a part of what the action that was happening. And one of the things that I liked about the characters is I felt like, as far as the story and the development of the story and the character development, is that, again, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. I ended up liking the people that I felt I was supposed to like. I didn't like the people that I felt I wasn't supposed to like. You know, I just thought it was very well done. One of the people who was in the movie, I think her name is Millie Bobby Brown, from Stranger Things, and I love Stranger Things and I love her, so I was excited to see her in another role. I've seen her in a couple of other things, but I was really excited to see her in this, and she delivered. I felt that all the characters were very well balanced. You had some characters that were there for comic relief. You had, you know, a couple of villains. You had some heroic figures. You know, you had some unexpected characters who helped the plot along. You know, somebody that I definitely didn't expect, but I loved the delivery. I loved how the emotions were conveyed, even in a unique way. So I really appreciated that about the characters, and I felt it was very balanced. I felt that at the end of the day, and this is hard to do, you know, that Godzilla and Kong were the stars. You know, you have people in the movie, but they were the stars. And everyone else was supporting cast and did what they were supposed to do in moving this plot forward. So I did appreciate that, and I found it very enjoyable. There was one thing I was really, really concerned about throughout the film that nobody else seemed to be concerned about, is when this epic battle ensued between these titans, you know, these mammoth creatures. I just feel like, couldn't they find somewhere deserted to fight? I mean, you're just fighting in the city. And there are casualties that nobody ever said anything about. Every time they took a step, every time they stepped on a building or moved their hand and, you know, crushed an entire building, because these fellas are huge, I kept thinking, I wonder how many people just died. I wonder how many people are injured. I kept thinking that throughout their entire battle. I don't know if anybody else is with me, but I thought, how many people were harmed in the making of this battle? You know, they were just in the city. I believe they were in Hong Kong, if I remember correctly, but they were fighting, you know, and it was in a city environment. I'm thinking, can't you go to the desert? Can't you? I mean, this is a movie. Can't you go to outer space? Can't you go somewhere where harmless innocents and you know, the casual pedestrian won't be hurt? But I'm telling you, they did some damage because they're so big, they're so huge, and they had some things that they clearly had to get off their chest. But I just was very concerned about all the other people. You know, our main characters, most of them survived. Yay! You know, most of them. But the other passersby, the innocent bystanders, the woman who was just at work on her phone when Kong, you know, swung his hand and knocked out the whole floor, you know, she's gone now. What about her family? What about her friends? I mean, is anybody going to be able to say, well, she was one of the casualties, one of the victims of the battle between Kong and Godzilla? You know, I guess that just leaves to be, you know, leaves to be seen. I don't know. But that was one of my concerns throughout the movie. Again, just something that I was thinking about in the back of my mind. And but again, I think overall, I don't have too much more to say about the film because I don't want to give too much away. But everything that they presented, even some of the backstory, it was presented clearly. Some of the reasons certain things happened, I thought it was very, very clearly executed and cleanly executed as a film. So I appreciate it. I enjoyed it. I will watch it again. Again, if you haven't seen it and you can see it safely in a theater environment, I would encourage you to do so. If you have a 70-inch screen in your house, go for it. I will say one other thing. One other thing that was important in this movie in a way that I didn't expect it to be was sound editing. Not something that we think about all the time, but sound editing was very important in certain parts of this film. If you've seen the film, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but there is such a value in good quality sound editing in a film, and I felt that they delivered in terms of that as well. So I don't have any complaints about it. I thought the story was good. I thought it was well executed. I thought it was very well cast, a nice diverse cast, age, nationality, ethnicity. I just thought it was a very diverse cast. And so I appreciated that as well. I thought everybody did what they were supposed to do. I felt like the intention was there. You knew who to root for, and whoever you rooted for, you knew what to do. You knew what to do. And I feel like the end was solid. It was sound. It was not disappointing. And it is what should have happened. So those are my thoughts about Godzilla vs. Kong. I hope you enjoyed this review. And if you have any movies that you would love for me to watch, please go ahead and put it in the comments. I greatly appreciate it. I do read all the comments as soon as I can and try to get back to you. But if there's something you want me to watch and something you want me to review, a movie that you've been thinking about, even if it's a little older, I do try to stick with the newer movies, but even if it's something a little bit older, I encourage you to put it in the comments. And if you have not liked and subscribed to my channel and you've been enjoying these movie reviews, please do so I can continue to bring you this entertainment about entertainment. So thank you so much for sticking around and watching my review of Godzilla vs. Kong.